Time is short. Another way to say this is transformation is right now. Transformation isn't in the future, isn't 30 years from now. It is right now, whatever that is. Even if it's moving from this state to the next state with an infinite number of other states, the movement and time is now, and the time is short. I was reminded of this when I was working with a group a while ago, and it was in a beautiful setting. It was in the mountains. It was in Europe on Lake Geneva. And I was working with a senior team, large company, $40 billion company. I was working with the CEO, and I was working with their senior team. And we were going through a 3-day team process that had individual coaching and assessment and also a team process. And we got to the 3rd day, and the CEO came up with a fantastic idea, no coaching from me. And he said, there's a Tibetan monastery up the mountain. Why don't we go up there the morning of the 3rd day and meditate together and get ready for these big commitments we're going to make as a team? So I thought, man, this is a place to work, right? and so I'm really up for it. The rest of the team is mumbling and grumbling and saying, oh, meditation, early morning, walk up the mountain, no way. But they don't want to say it to the CEO, so they're just grumbling amongst themselves. So anyway, we do get up, everybody gets up. We walk up, the side of the mountain. We get to the monastery, and it's a real multicultural experience because we're in Switzerland. It's a Tibetan monastery. There's a monk in his robes, standing outside, and there's incense and all that. And then he greets us in German. So it's totally unexpected, right? So we come into the meditation hall, and there's pillows all arranged on the floor. And then I'm a willing student, so I go right up to the front and sit there, and I'm ready for this thing, how cool. But my team members, are sitting behind, and oh God, here we are sitting on these things, and it's so uncomfortable, and more moaning and groaning. And then the monk comes in. No discourse, nothing. Comes in, sits down, obviously picked up on my enthusiasm or something. He zeroes in on me and says, how many days do you have left to live? That was it. Now, as coaches, I pride myself a little bit on having some good questions, right? Evoke a little reflection on this and that, right? But here was a question that was so unexpected and so powerful, it just bore a hole right through me. So completely disarmed me that my brain wasn't working. It didn't feel like anything was working, yet I had the answer. So I don't know where it came from. I don't know if my brain was working quickly and I wasn't aware of it or some intuitive insight, but he asked me the question, I had the answer. And my answer was 6,000 days. Now, he paused in this deep kind of thoughtful way, and to me it seems like, he's pausing for a half hour. It's just a few seconds, but he's deeply pausing. And he kind of nods his head and thinks a little, and then he turns to me and he says, that's about right, my son. And then my brain kicks in, and I'm going, what do you mean that's about right? What do you mean? I only have 6,000 days? How am I going to use those days? By the way, how many years is it? What do I have? And how long am I going to, be a professional? How long am I going to go, do something else? How am I going to spend this precious time? It's ticking away. There isn't much left. So what he did, and then he went on to say, which was really powerful, do you want to waste any day in anger? Do you want to waste any day in suffering? Do you want to waste any day out of service? Do you want to waste any day out of purpose and contribution? Whew. So the preciousness and the realization that it is finite in terms of this embodiment and what are we going to do and what are we going to contribute. It gives a different context of going for it, being it, and doing it now. What are we waiting for? There is no time to wait. So transformation is now, going for it now.